If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of The Reality Is. As always, it's Noor. And listen, guys, people have a lot of hot takes after Summer House this week. They're like, is Ben a secret abuser? Should KJ be on TV? Did West and Amanda start fucking in the house while cameras were rolling? There's so many hot takes. Everybody is very intense right now. And so I thought naturally I'm going to bring a person on the podcast who famously has very hot takes. But most importantly, this person was the first person to clock on record on a podcast that on Watch What Happened Live when West did the she's a friend that they were fucking. It's Rae Sanni.
Hi! Woo! Your audience is gonna hate me. Your
Okay,
audience
great.
is gonna hate me. She's like, yeah, they are absolutely correct.
It is what it is. Whatever. People need to get over it. We all have differing opinions. We all watch these shows as different human beings who have lived different lives. And so our perceptions of how these people should function or how this should work is different. I will say this, that one thing about you, Rae, is from jump, you hate a pylon. You don't like a pylon.
Yes, I don't like a pylon. No, never. I'm always like, okay, guys, this is getting ridiculous. I'm trying to think if there was like ever like a deserved pylon. I'm trying to think. If anyone has deserved a pylon, I don't think they've gotten it though, right? Like I think Portia has deserved a pylon. She didn't get it. She didn't get it.
No.
My beloved Kenya did deserve a pylon, and she didn't get it for the Brit eating stuff. She deserves it, but she didn't get it.
She said, "I'm leaving."
She's what? What she said? I didn't hear.
She said, "I'm leaving."
Yeah, she was like, "Come on." She was like, "And Cynthia, fuck you, bitch," and she left. She was like, "Cynthia, don't talk to me about what things I did wrong on camera, bitch," and she walked out and never came back.
Also, I mean, Kenya Moore is the reason why I've always loved her is because her first season, she was piled on.
She was. That was. So this is what's so annoying because like I have ADHD and a strong contrarian streak, and I'm not even like being contrarian because like I feel smarter than everyone. It's just like, how come you guys aren't seeing it from this angle? There's another angle, I swear. And so, I fell in love with Kenya Moore because I couldn't stand her, just like everyone else. Like for the first year she was on the show, and then she showed up at the reunion so badass, like took everything. And I love a bitch who could eat it. That's my shit. If you know you're wrong but you sit in your wrongness, and sometimes you should apologize. Like Kenya should have apologized a million times over the course of the show, and she never had. But if you're someone who's like, here's why I did it, and you're gonna come at me and whatever, I don't like a crying deflector, right? Like I like someone who's like, here's why I did some fucked up shit, and here's why I'm gonna continue to do some fucked up shit. And then at some point I gotta be like, I gotta respect it. Not on some Donald Trump shit. That's crazy. But like on TV for sure.
Yeah.
I love it. So I'm in anticipation of our summer house conversation. I think what is going to frustrate me about Amanda and Wes is that they're greedy and they're trying to be likable still. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like if you're going to live in whatever thing you did, then you just got to live in the thing you did, right? Like if you're going to wear an ugly dress, you got to let people call a dress ugly. You know what I'm saying? So like, and I hate when, and actually, this has been coming up a lot too. I know you don't care about this stuff, but like, like in the comedy scene, like everyone's talking about the Kevin Hart roast and like the
Yes.
George Floyd joke and stuff like this.
Yeah. By the way, I do care about it.
Oh, okay, great. I don't know. I never want to be like, and comedy serious. Like, I don't want to get nerd comedy with people who don't care. So,
Yeah.
thank you for telling me you care. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing is, like, I'm not mad at Kevin Hart for not caring. I'm annoyed that comedians who say offensive things or do offensive things also want you to not be mad at them for it. And I feel like if your choice, and I promise this will make sense, but it's just, if you are choosing to live or engage publicly in an offensive way, and the things you do are odious to people, it is unfair to demand that people don't be upset about your odiousness. Like, if you are daring to be disrespectful, then understand that people are going to feel disrespected, and you can choose to care or not care, you know? And I feel like a lot of comedians be trying to make it that, like, you're bad for caring when it's like them who should not care, you know?
Yeah, I think that's like a great preface to the Bailey and what the fuck is his name? Ben. The Bailey and Ben conversation, because I do think like that's such a great point of like you can't be somebody who's like, I was just like making a joke and then like also be mad when somebody takes offense to that. Although caveat, I don't like Ben. Anyway, listen, we're gonna
Wait,
talk
I don't
about
like that either. We're okay with that. I just think that whatever. I think there's some. The
by the way,
audience is talking about white woman shit all across Summer House, and I'm like, no, Bailey is on the most white woman shit right now. Like, what are we talking about here?
yes. That's the thing. I don't like Ben, and I also don't like Bailey, but I dislike men more. So as a result, it's like whatever. Let Bailey make this man uncomfortable. I don't give a shit. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about Summer House, but let's just touch on the city or in the city. The city. Somebody reminded me. The City was a show that Whitney Port did. That was like a spin-off of The Hills. Anyway.
Yeah. Did I watch that? I'm trying to remember.
I mean, listen.
I think it was like in my.
It was like on probably.
Yeah, it was in my atmosphere, right? But I don't think I was active in it. I don't think I was active in The Hills either. I was like really active with Laguna Beach because, again, my contrarian streak. I was a Kristen Cavallari stan when I was a kid. I was.
Well, that makes sense.
I love a bitch. I love a bitch.
You love a bold bitch. Because that was the thing about Kristen Cavallari, for what it's worth, is that she came in being like, yeah, they hate me. I'm going to lean the fuck into it, you know?
Yeah, and can you imagine being that self-possessed at 17? They literally, the whole world is calling you a whore who stole Lauren's boyfriend, and you're like, and correct.
The only young woman of color I've ever seen behave that way on TV was that one girl on My Super Sweet 16, the black girl with like the short hair, who was like, "Do you want me to make you cry?"
She's chubby, and she's like, I think she's like a lawyer now or something in Florida.
Well, good.
I'm a dweeb. I did go Googling, like, where's My Sweet 16 people now? And I was like, oh, Tiana Taylor was on an Oscar-winning production, and this black girl is a lawyer being terrible in Florida, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. That's like the only time I've ever seen like a very, like audacious young person of color on TV. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
But
I always like wish, I'm like, damn, like I know that like spoiled kids are terrible, but I'm always like, man, I wish my black ass African parents made me spoiled. Like they're Muslim and all humble and shit, and I'm just like, you should have raised an arrogant C word. That's what you should have done. I'm so mad about it.
Well, I think that my parents did raise an arrogant C word, and that was my eldest brother. I wasn't raised that way. I wasn't. The only person that was spoiled in that house was the prodigal son, not me.
So Raheel is the troublemaker? He's the problem?
No, he's the black sheep. The eldest brother is the one who is the prodigal son. Me and Raheel are the dipshits of the family.
Gotcha. I'm the dipshit. Well, look, we're looking at my sister right now. She's the one who was raised with self-esteem, but she found it on her own. She got it from outside, So now she's this like really successful makeup artist, and I'm in her studio, and there are pictures of herself everywhere. Ask me the last time I took a picture. I don't like looking at myself.
No, I completely understand. You know what's funny? It's like I always say that I'm really glad that I don't have a daughter because I do think that if I had a daughter, she would be a menace because she would have
Yes.
gotten like all of the overcut. She would have been a fucking brat, and I
Yeah,
would have been
terrible.
okay with it. I would have been like, "Go ahead, girl, punch men in the street.
Yes.
I don't
You're
care."
the smartest person in the room. You're prettier than everybody. And if anybody talks to you, talk back to them. And if
Yeah.
they got a problem with it, tell me. Like I really would
Yes.
I would my daughter, as much as I can't stand Wendy Osefo, my daughter would be Wendy Osefo.
No, that's probably correct. And the thing is, instead, God gave me two sons, and I just tell my sons all the time to like lower your head, like don't approach people, take up
Obey
as little.
women.
Yeah, I'm like I basically raised my two sons the way that I was raised as like a young brown woman in the world.
Yeah.
It's like you take up as little space as possible, assume that you don't belong. Like just assume that people you need to please as many people as possible. It's just like it's very toxic in the other way. Okay,
Yeah.
anyway. On In the City this week. I mean,
Hmm.
whatever. It's only episode 2 of this new show.
I do like it though. I like it. Do you like it?
I do like it as well. I wasn't sure about it when it was announced, and then when I saw the trailer, and then when this guy Kenny went online and was like, "So what? I followed Joe Rogan and I follow the president. And by the way, I'm fiscally conservative." And we were like, "Fuck off, Kenny.
Okay.
He
Okay.
sucks." But I'm happy to see that hating a man has never led me astray.
No, no.
I didn't
But
like this
also,
man
can I
as
just like, can we go back for a second? Because I
yeah.
hate when Republicans do this, where they're like, "I'm socially liberal but fiscally conservative." Like, you sucked for being fiscally conservative, also. Like, you also suck for that, right?
Yeah.
You think that you shouldn't you shouldn't pay your fair share of taxes? Oh, how charming! Like, what?
Yes, it always cracks me up when they're like, "No, like I like think that gay people should be allowed to live and like immigrants should be allowed in this country, but like I just think that like we shouldn't be helping out anybody financially and
Exactly.
I should have all the money." And you're like,
Exactly. This is crazy to me. Oh, okay. Like, I mean, oh my God. Like, it's great. You know, black people and white people should hang out with each other, of course, but no one should pay for public school. Like, what?
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's it. And then like it's been so thrilling to not like Kenny from Jump and then watch him in just 2 episodes of the show and be like,
Just
you're gonna
implode,
fight.
right?
Yeah, just like you're fighting with Lindsay Hubbard. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're such a dork. Like his whole thing, the feud is just so funny to me because
Is
like I
it
said,
a feud or is this nigga just talking? Right? Like, Lindsay's not feuding with him. He's feuding. He's talking. And she's like, okay, whatever, dude. Like,
yeah. Yeah. Like they had a gathering. She said, okay, production would like me to ask about this man and his relationship. So I sat
yeah.
down and I asked this man about his relationship. And then he's like, don't you think that's like a little messed up for you to say like that, like I'm not committed to my girlfriend? And she was like, that's not even what I
What
said.
it
I
said.
said,
It's not even what she said. And you know me. I love Lindsay, but I know my girl be doing too much. I know my girl does too much.
she does.
But she wasn't doing too much. All she was saying was like, yo, it's a big deal that Shorty moved across the country for you without a ring. Is
Yeah.
it something I would say in my first conversation with somebody? No. But they on a TV show, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think, you know, it's so weird because simultaneously we're meant to understand these interactions as if they're real, but also understand that they are sort of contrived in these very very curated spaces, and I don't know what these people want for. I don't know what Kenny wants from me. It's because like Kenny knows that I know that he and Lindsay would never hang out in real life, but you hanging out on this TV show. So what do you want from me to when I watch you and Lizzie talking? Like, what do you want from all of us? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Also because
Your
it's so
girl
funny.
moved across the country so y'all could be on a TV show. What do you want from me?
Yeah, yeah. Also, it's so funny because it's like, Kenny, you're only on the show because you invested in Loverboy, and Loverboy is tanking. And so Kyle was like, "What if I give you a spot on my reality TV show?
Exactly.
We
Exactly.
we we need more black people, and
We
you
need
are
black
half."
people, and we need black people who look like they can afford Chanel purses for their white girlfriends. So please come on the show. Yeah,
Yeah,
Kenny is so obvious to me. I don't know, like
yeah.
there's just like, man, you know, like, so I'm so accustomed to seeing like women with low self-esteem, so it's like really obvious, but like the way men who have low self-esteem perform confidence is like so obvious, but the world seems to continue to be fooled by it. And like
Yes.
Kenny strikes me as just like not in love with himself, whoring around to like feel good about being a, you know what I mean? And I don't want to like evoke like tragic mulatto like stereotypes and stuff, but he feels to me like he got a lot going on. Is what I'll say.
That's a really sweet thing. That's a really sweet way of putting it, is that he has, quote, a lot going on. Because I agree. Also, I think like what you brought up about like men with low self-esteem, I think like as women, we're so aware of our own kind that we have always assumed that like all of us have low self-esteem, which like going back to the earlier point of like, I wish that I was given just like a little bit of esteem growing up. And like, it's funny now as like an adult, like now I'm like 40 and I see a man with low self-esteem, I clock it immediately.
Immediately, it's so obvious. It's so
It's
obvious.
it really is. And it's like very it is very telling when you see a man who has low self-esteem who, yeah, is probably a millionaire. And you're like, how did you do that?
Because dad did not answer your call in third grade. That's what happened. That's what happened. So now every girl in Manhattan has gotten your mediocre dick because your dad did not call back after he promised to watch your favorite football game with you. That's what happened. That's what happened with Elon. That's what happened with Trump. It's so crazy because you know, like the common stereotype about girls who are whores and like have low self-esteem or whatever is that we have daddy issues. These men be having daddy issues.
Yeah. Well, the men are the ones that pointed out that these women have daddy issues because the men are the ones with the daddy issues. So they were like projecting.
They see themselves in us, you know.
Yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
oh my god, your dad hates you too. Weird.
Yeah. And then instead of like ever being vulnerable and talking about it, they're like, you're a dumb slut because your dad hates you. And you're like,
you're a dumb slut and I love a doll. I'm gonna marry this doll.
okay. Any man, Kenny keeps saying it. He's like, Whitney is just like a dream. Like she just like wakes up. She's a doll. She's a delight. She like wakes up every
Why was Kyle repeating the word doll? I have never heard Kyle Cook in 10 years of watching him on TV say doll. What was this? What was that?
It's because I think he's financially beholden to Kenny. And so he's just going to say.
But and also, you know how like I'm sure you know this when like when you're around people, you start talking like them to reinforce them socially. Yeah, like what has been fascinating. It's just been 2 episodes, but what has been fascinating about watching the city is that like I am very aware now of like how Kyle maneuvers because. On Summer House, I was always like, why is he 43 or not? I mean, he's not been 43 the whole time, but like, how has he been this old and like gets away with this, but also seems responsible, but also is in charge and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I think like the first 2 episodes of In the City have shown me how I don't want to call him a chameleon that makes it sound nefarious or malicious, but Kyle is really and calling him emotionally intelligent sounds like giving him too much credit, but he's really good at reading people, I would say. He's very good at like assessing what's happening. I just don't understand why he's so good at assessing what's happening, but not knowing how to behave in the situation that he's accurately assessing. He knows exactly what's happening with him and Amanda. He knows exactly what's happening. He's watching it happen and he's calling out what's happening and still not performing correct. It's weird. He's really smart and very sensitive, and still is not capable of being like a great husband as we've seen in the past. And then also he knows this girl is like breadcrumbing leaving him. He knows he's on his mom, on the phone with his mom, telling her exactly what's going on. But there's something that keeps him from like being. I don't know. I've never been in love. God, that's so sad to say at 38. He seems like incapable of like even just assessing how Lindsay and Danielle were handling each other, or just seeing how like Lindsay was talking about like he's clear on these things, but it's like it's so weird. You can't. He's not clear on himself entirely, and I don't think he's lacking for self-esteem or anything like that. I actually think that he's pretty confident, Kyle, and I
Yeah,
believe it.
I think he gets vulnerable, but then he like has like an ego that like shoots up, like some sort of like man protection wall that happens that just
Yeah.
like keeps him from like doing the right thing. And I think doing the right thing sometimes for men or maybe for Kyle feels so daunting that instead he's like, what if I get fucked up and I become a DJ instead? And you're like,
Exactly. It's so weird. It's so weird. It is so weird. The same guy who was like on the phone on FaceTime with his mom, being like,
like sobbing.
it's the same dude who's like, Amanda doesn't talk to me, so I'm gonna go DJ in Utah with Meredith Marks. It's like, why are you the same guy?
Also, by the way, his mom was so cute. Like, I love the little story she shared of like, well, you know, your dad was in a long-term relationship
Yes.
and he had the two kids, and then if he hadn't left, then you wouldn't be here. And then they're both sobbing, and I was like, oh my God. Like,
This was
I
as
like
opposed to like Carl's mom, who I think enables him. Like
mm-hmm.
Kyle's mom didn't say anything that she shouldn't have said, which I thought was like interesting. Where she's like, "Well, you guys have been having a hard time for a long time, you know."
Mm-hmm.
Like she wasn't boy momming, right? Like
Yeah.
Carl's mom is a boy mom, and Kyle's
Yeah.
mom is a mom. You know,
Yeah, I think that's a really good assessment. I think Carl's mom also is like obsessed with him.
right?
Like let's not forget that in Summer House one season, she like was going through a divorce and then she like came to the party house and like cried
Yeah,
on his shoulder.
isn't
And like
that weird?
now thinking back to it, I'm like, this was the house where people were getting drunk and fucking each other. And then like Sharon shows up, this like 60 whatever year old woman to cry on her son's
Well,
shoulder.
so this is gonna sound really insane. So one of my new fantasies is that I want to be on Survivor
Okay.
eventually.
No, I love that.
And I'm African with African parents, so I know that when you get like the letters from home or your parent like the family visits, my parents are never gonna do it. Like they're just never gonna do it. They love me, but not enough to be on CBS, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm always fascinated when the parents not only, because Kyle's mom did a FaceTime. I think we've seen her once or twice on the
Yeah.
show. He's gone home or whatever. But like, my mom would never show up to where I am on TV. And so it is really fucking crazy to me that Carl's mom showed up to the summer house and she also went to the opening of Soft Bar. We have not seen Lindsay's parents in 8 years. I know
Yeah.
that she has like an abandonment issue with her mom, but we haven't seen her Aunt Rhonda. Do you remember Aunt Rhonda?
Yeah,
We haven't
AR.
seen her. We haven't seen her dad. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then here Carl's mom is showing up, saying hi to fiancés, talking shit at bridal showers. Like, that's crazy to me.
And by the way, I don't think that she like lives nearby. Like she's not in the
No.
city.
Isn't she in like Pittsburgh or some shit?
That's
That's
what I'm thinking.
far.
She lives in Pennsylvania. Like what is going
Yeah.
on? And then you know the thing between like Kyle's mom and Carl's mom is that Carl's mom, when she approached the whole thing with like Carl and Lindsay breaking up, it was always like Lindsay's not a good enough person for you. Lindsay
Yeah.
did this, Lindsay did that. What I loved about this conversation that Kyle had with his mom was like, and for what it's worth, Kyle didn't do it either, is neither of them said a single bad thing about Amanda.
Yeah,
They
they
were
both were
like,
like, you guys, we've been having a hard time for a long time. It was not
yeah.
and I know that the internet is so mad at Amanda, so they hate when Kyle is nice about her. I love that Kyle is nice about her. Again, like you said, I hate a pylon. But
Yeah.
like I like that or let me phrase it this way. I think that we've been on the internet and social media in particular for so long, and then we're, I think, in a collective like post COVID psychosis. I think people have forgotten what intimacy means and what intimacy feels like.
Yeah.
And I think people, it's crazy for people on the internet to expect a man who loved a girl for 10 years to bash her because they're mad at her. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, regardless of how toxic their relationship looked, the fact is Kyle knows this woman. His mom knows this woman. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I would also be disappointed to see Amanda's parents get on the internet and bash Kyle too. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I do like that it feels responsible. So that's like, you know, like I guess so like it's I guess what's like what I like about In the City is that even though Kenny's annoying, I do think that it's nice to see people interacting in a way that feels real to me and not you know, people playing archetypes or protecting themselves
Yes.
for camera. Kenny does not know how to be on TV yet. Gavin does not know how to be on TV yet. I think
That's
Georgina
right.
knows, but she's been friends with Lindsay for years, so maybe that's what the deal is. But
Yes.
like,
Yes.
but also you see Lindsay walking her girlfriends through how to be on TV.
Yeah.
Andrea is really protective of Lexi. Like I just think it's nice. It feels like for the first time in a long time, I'm not watching people who went on TV to become influencers. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
like Love Island. It doesn't feel like Summer House. It feels like a group of friends. Maybe Kenny and Lindsay don't know each other that well. Lindsay and Gavin don't know each other that well, but they all know Kyle. And
Yeah.
Danielle and Lindsay are having a real, actual tense situation. And yes, Kenny, your girlfriend showed up and we don't know what to do with her. Like, all of it feels
Mm-hmm.
genuine in a way that I haven't seen on TV in a while.
Yeah, and I think it's like a great assessment of all these people because I would say that Whitney, Kenny's girlfriend, is probably the only one that everybody is like, okay, so she's gonna be a part of the show now. All right, that's great. Anyway, the rest of us are gonna keep hanging out. Like, I love that
Yeah.
Gavin is like the owner of the Garret, and like
Yeah.
he's like an actual restaurateur, and he's like really he has a real. I also like that everybody here has like a real job
Yeah. I
and
like
a
that
life
too.
and then life outside of this television show. Whereas, like,
Absolutely.
you can tell the Valley was created so that these people didn't like lose their homes.
Yeah, well, so that's the thing too, and you know, I've told you over and over how much I hated my time in Los Angeles. But
Mm-hmm.
part of why I think Los Angeles is a difficult city if you're not a native is that you know, everyone moves to LA to make their TV or entertainment dreams come true, right? Versus like
Yeah.
New York, that like there's somewhat of an entertainment industry here, but there's so much about this city outside of that industry, right?
Yeah.
Like, which isn't to diminish like the industries that are in LA. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but ultimately, uh, for how you know Americans in general understand Los Angeles, it's Hollywood and its surrounding industries. There's investment
Yeah.
makers there, yes, but that's because the rich people who make movies need to invest their money, right? Like
Yeah.
everything sort of is an offshoot of like the need to be seen and visible and on TV.
Yeah.
Everybody's pursuing that dream. Whereas like, yeah, New York, people come to New York to pursue dreams, absolutely. But there's also just like a whole world outside of that. You
Yeah.
know, you can clout chase in many ways, not just the TV way here. And so like I do like that they have a job. I do like that they're a restaurateur. I'm like, um, Kenny made money before investing in Lumberboard, right? He did. He
Mm-hmm.
did. He did go to U Michigan, and he did come to New York to work on Wall Street. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus like Jax, you know, stop sucking old man dick in Florida to like come be a model. You know what I mean? Like he was getting tricked about. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
different kind of
Yeah.
desperation. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I'm not saying that New Yorkers aren't desperate, but I feel like if Kyle lost the TV show today, he'd be sad about it, but life would be okay. But like, I do not feel that for Jax. I feel like he's miserable off the show right now. You know what I mean? And I feel like Kristen and Brittany and
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't know what to do. And here's Danny still trying to have this voiceover career while he emotionally abuses his wife, and we all have to pretend he's not drunk. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that that's kind of also why I like just enjoy Summer House. I've always enjoyed Summer House, especially in the last few years, way more than Vanderpump Rules,
yeah.
because to some degree, like these are people that film for the summer and then leave. Like they don't pretend
They're
like they're
not
working.
the show is not their life. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Yes.
so that's why it was like interesting to me. for a bunch of reasons, but one of the reasons that was interesting to me when Ciara was like, nobody knows who you are off camera. Like, you're on camera and off camera, different people. And normally that would bother me, but in the context of this show in particular, I found that so interesting because I get the sense that maybe West is egregious with it, but I get the sense that all of them are different people off the show, except for maybe Kyle.
Yeah, and I think that's a great segue into talking about this fucking reunion, Summer House. Okay, by the way, I watched the uncut version too.
I did. I also just rewatched it right before we got back together.
Okay, great. Okay, fresh minds, fresh minds. Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, we had the.
Oh wait, one more thing about in the city.
In the city.
Before,
yeah.
Before we go, Lindsay's definitely still fucking that guy Andre introduced her to, right?
Is she?
I would think so. Because Andy asked her last week on Watch What Happens Live if she was still celibate.
And she said no?
She said, no, I'm not celibate. But she didn't say who it was with, but I feel like it might be that guy.
Well, the internet found out that this man once went on a date with Kelly Dodd on camera.
See, here's the thing. If you don't know that bitch is crazy, she's hot.
No, I get it. I I understand. No, I know.
And also, as much as I loved Kelly Dodd until we found out she was a nut job Republican. I did love her. Everyone hated her, but my contrarian ass, I loved how she handled Tamara and Heather in those arguments back then. And then she got crazy. Then she was weird. She wasn't even good TV anymore.
Yeah.
But I think a man who can handle Kelly Dodd can absolutely handle my Lindsay. And so
yes, that's true. That's true. I can see if he was like, he would be like, oh no, whatever crazy you're serving up.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I got it. I've seen this before. And you got a child. Kelly was crazy with children too. Come on.
He was like, have you thrown your mom down the stairs?
Yeah.
Because if you haven't,
exactly.
We're good.
We're good.
Although he did
Andrea seems to like this guy, so
he does.
If Andrea's excited about him, maybe he's not that bad.
I will say the guy looked like he just got a fresh chemical peel and then like showed up on camera.
And you think that's gonna turn Lindsay off?
No. Lindsay's like,
she loves
where did you go?
Botox ass motherfucker. Yes, she do.
Yeah.
He owns a milk company. Oh, is it coffee? It's like mussels and milk. Of course she's into it. She loves it.
All right. Well, okay, are you ready to go over to Summer House?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Like we said, going ahead of this conversation, a disclaimer, you might not like some of the takes that are about to be heard on this episode today. Okay, but the big
Nora is an angel. I'm the dickhead y'all are gonna be mad at. So don't write bullshit reviews on her Apple fucking iTunes shit. I don't like that. You weirdos. And if you're gonna talk shit about my girl on iTunes, give her 5 stars at the very least.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
You give her 5 stars and you go, Nora's a bitch, fuck her, but it's 5 stars.
Yeah, if you're gonna call me racist, do it, but just give me 5 stars.
It's like, oh, she's anti-Semitic, she hates Israel. 5 stars though.
5 stars. 5 stars. The big things we learned on this reunion part 1 is that Amanda and Wes are on really good Xanax. Wes,
oh
my God. They crushed it up and they snorted it right before they got there at 7 fucking a.m. Wes apparently
I'm not familiar. The young kids keep mentioning beta blockers. What are those?
Yeah, so I've also heard about beta blockers, and I've recommended beta blockers to people because I know some people that have taken them. I think that they're like,
what are they? Are they like Xannies or what?
I think kind of, but they're supposed to like help you deal with like, there's like one of my friends has really bad presentation anxiety at work. Like she will like sweat through her clothes and she gets really nervous and she's like a physical reaction to like being in front of people. And so she'll take a pop of beta blocker and it like helps her calm down. So I think it's similar to Xanax.
Turn off your brain or what? Because
no.
Okay, because Xanax would like make me like, I would be a different person on a Xanax. Actually, Xanax, I took them years ago. You know, when you're anxious and you have ADHD, you start experimenting with And Xanax turned me into a maniac who was constantly horny. Like my clit was on fire all the time, and I couldn't think. It was crazy. It was nuts.
Oh my God.
I took these.
Okay.
I think I got prescribed Xanax exactly one time, and we never went back. Xanax
Oh
and
my God.
Ambien almost ruined my life.
Oh my God. Okay, wait. We have to talk off mic about it because
Yes.
fluoxetine, Prozac is the exact opposite. Fluoxetine is like we're putting numbing cream all over your
Oh,
nether regions. You're never going to feel anything ever
wait,
again.
I tried. What was it? It's not Prozac. What's the one that Erica Jane was on? Lexapro.
Lexapro.
Turned my clit off. Just was like. Do you remember when Nene was like, her clit has left her body? I was like, you mean that to call Claudia a whore? But my clit left my body because it just wasn't activated. Lexapro just ruined my vagina. Yeah, I had no sexual desires on Lexapro. Absolutely none.
Yeah. I was like, is this midlife or is this just
Nope.
the fluoxetine?
It was the SSRIs.
Yeah, they're like the SSRI doesn't want you to feel anything, sadness or
Exactly.
ecstasy, none of it.
Sadness or sex.
Nothing, none of it.
Yeah.
Okay, we also found out maybe that West had a girlfriend. We
I
also
can believe that. Do you think that West promised anybody exclusivity? I just don't buy that. I don't.
I don't know. I feel like he is like, to Lindsay's point, he is so schmoozy and he's so good at it and he gets away with it by talking like a little boy.
I don't think here's why I don't believe West promised exclusivity. Sort of along, I agree that he's as manipulative as we both think he is. But that's why I don't think he promised anyone exclusivity. You've been married for a while, so you haven't been running into these niggas in the wild. They are crazy. They are crazy. There's always some man, especially in the situationship post online dating era. There's always a man who technically told you up front what he wanted, so you don't get to be mad about how he played you. And so I feel like West is the kind of person who would be like, "Well, I told you I didn't want a relationship," so that's why I don't think he promised this girl exclusivity.
I mean, it's very much possible that he did the same thing to her that he does to many girls.
Yeah, I believe he's technically I'm not a boyfriend, but does all the boyfriend things, but it's your fault for not catching yourself. And this is just what dating is in 2026 right now. It's like a bunch of men who suck you dry emotionally, but technically didn't lie to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's infuriating.
Because they're
why I don't have a baby.
They've learned. They're like,
They've learned.
No, you're not supposed to do that anymore. You're not supposed to lie to women. You're not supposed to just ghost them. You're just supposed to be you're supposed to be kind and loving and appreciate them and call them goddesses, but then also be like, I'm not looking for anything serious, but I love you. I think you're amazing. I think that you're magic and you're the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Absolutely.
But I'm not ready yet myself to be in a committed relationship.
You're
and so the girl,
therapy speak, saying all the right things, and it's so weird because and we're gonna discuss it, I'm sure, but this is how I'm frustrated with Sierra too because I'm and what part of it is his responsibility and what part of it is your responsibility?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because it's he's weaponizing therapy speak, but also you can't just go into the world with your nose wide open. You've gotta and I know that in this era where people are you're entitled to your feelings and we want Black women to get to emote the way that other people do and all this stuff. But at some point you do have to respect yourself. You have to assess situations. And so I'm not as black and white as everyone is. The internet is so mad at West. And I actually think of Amanda and West, I find West to be, if I'm speaking objectively, I find him to be the least dangerous of the two of them, or at least who's done the least wrong, to be honest.
You know what, I'm gonna say that I agree with you because I do think that I mean even Sierra, she has said it in interviews and stuff. West is West. He's a guy. He's gonna do fucked shit. But Amanda, you're a friend. You're a girl. Better. You know how to be better. But I also think that similar to what West did with this Mija girl.
Agree. I know it about to say, and I agree. I think, oh my God, thank you for giving me the lane, because people will call me a self-hating coon if I say this on the internet. So So I feel like, so one, I think, let me just get this out the way. We'll be more nuanced about it later. I think that Sierra looks like a fucking fool, and I think that this like continued anger at West makes her look even more stupid. And I know people are on her side right now, but I'll be more generous in my explanation about that later. But I don't understand how we are looking at. So Amanda was wrong for fucking over her friend. Full stop, point blank.
Yep.
That's it. She fucked up. She fucked up there. But I'm so confused as to how everyone is giving Sierra leeway for West being a manipulative shit when this girl was in a marriage that was at the very least toxic, at the very least sometimes verbally disrespectful and abusive, and this boy is white knighting her at every opportunity. So if people can understand that a man who hasn't fucked this girl in 3 years, right? Because that's crazy that she's still hung up on this boy. Hasn't fucked her in 3 years, but still has enough power over her for her to be bugging out like this over him, but is not understanding that he would have done the same thing to Amanda. This is a girl who is trying to find her way out of a 10-year-old marriage, or a 4-year-old marriage with a 10-year-old relationship. And this man is on national TV calling her a dumbass bitch. No one is protecting her. Not that this white girl needs protection all the time, but
Yeah.
But my man walked by me because I wasn't hyped about him DJing. Called me a dumbass bitch while everybody else was talking about him, and I didn't say shit. And then this boy walks into the bathroom after me, tells me I'm beautiful, tells me he loves me, tells me I don't deserve this.
Yep.
And then my homegirl, a couple weeks later, my homegirl is pressing him because he did try to accept a DJ job without talking to me about it fully. When that has been a point of contention in our relationship, our mutual friend is pressing you about it. Should she have let Lindsay go that far? No, not at the dinner table. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
But this man is banging the fucking table, yelling at everybody, and this boy comes and sits next to her, and he's like, "Talk to Lindsay. Don't talk to Amanda." You don't think this bitch is gonna fall for that?
Yeah.
You don't think Kyle has let everybody talk shit about her on this TV show, and she has done the same to him. I'm not denying that. But this is a toxic situation, and this boy presented like he was, her savior. So I'm not saying that Amanda wasn't fucked up to Sierra. I'm just not understanding how there's grace for Sierra's looking stupid as shit over this boy she hasn't fucked again in 3 years, and Amanda is getting played by the same dude. I don't understand why. I'm not saying that Amanda should be forgiven for how she did Sierra. What I am saying is, if West is as disgusting and manipulative as everyone says he is to Sierra, why can't then people see that he might also be doing it to Amanda? And she's uniquely vulnerable at the moment because she's leaving a marriage. She be lying though.
She loves to lie. Oh my God. She loves to lie. Oh, it was just PG. We were just hanging out.
He's like, I was like, this bitch is lying to me. You sucked that nigga's dick at Christmas. I'm sure of it. He's hilarious.
1,000%. 1,000%.
What do you mean February? I'm not making see, this is stupid because I'm not putting out a chat GPT statement if I haven't seen your dick yet. That's crazy.
That's nuts. You can't be like, oh, he was nice to me, so that's why I threw out my entire life away for a few for kisses? For kisses? Get out of here.
For above the ear. For above the ear. Girl, please.
I think that's a really good point because, yes, I think that Amanda, when it comes to friendships, right? West fucked over Kyle, yes. Amanda fucked over Sierra, yes.
Yeah.
West is, and I think this is what Lindsay was trying to basically say at the end of the reunion, West sees an opportunity with Amanda, right? And Amanda,
what's the opportunity?
I think that West was watching the way filming was going, right? I think, who was it? I don't know who said this, but somebody made this statement. It's not an original of mine, but they said West notices where the camera points to. And I think
he does. Actually, out of all of them, I do see him look direct to camera the most on the cast. You're
And
right
I
about
think
that.
that he sees this. We already knew when they started filming this television show last summer that Kyle and Amanda were probably on the out. This idea that Amanda moved out later, whatever, I think all of that was
Oh,
bullshit.
you don't think so?
No, I think that she's been on the out for a really long time. She didn't kiss this man until
You
he
think
gave her that
Kyle
like
played
$10,000.
along though?
I think so. I think that he played along because I also think Kyle fucked up. I think that's why Kyle
He feels a lot of
sometimes.
guilt. I know he does.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that he fucked up. And I think that he gave her a lot of room and a lot of grace to pretend to like be together or whatever this summer because he just was like, oh, this is like how we're
Yeah,
going to
but
play
then
this
why
out.
didn't it slip during his freak out? You know what I mean? Because he seemed to be really affected during that fight.
Because
That's
I
why
don't
I
think
feel
that
like he's someone who's still invested in the marriage. Like even to this day, I think that like like West. I feel like, and I don't want to I don't know Amanda, so I don't want to speak for her. But I wonder if subconsciously she had to fuck someone as close as West because that was the only way Kyle was gonna ever back off.
it's possible. I think the reason why it didn't slip is because Kyle's not going to tell everybody that Amanda is already moved out because it's too
But why
embarrassing to
not?
Kyle.
Because he was
Because
like
it's too
freaking out.
Because it was too embarrassing to him
Oh,
that like
that's
his
true.
wife
Yeah,
left him. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So I think that they go into filming. West already knows that Kyle and Amanda are sort of on their way out. He's not sure how to navigate the Sierra situation. So what does he start to do? He's like buddies with Amanda. And he sees that every single time Kyle does some fucked up shit, he can go and swoop in and be the nice guy.
yeah.
Do I
I
think
think he's very camera aware in that regard. Absolutely.
very, very. I think that he knew that she was going to get a post divorce glow up because that's what happens on Bravo when girls leave relationships. They get a little post divorce glow up. She's going to be the talk of the town on BravoCon, all this stuff. Also, in the fall is when she started doing like a lot more SpawnCon, and all of her content
Okay.
was like pretty funny, whatever. And so
But why
people
did
started.
it go as far as like hooking up then? Because I feel like if you're okay, like if you and I are just plotting my course post summer house, and then while somebody else is like filming in the city, and I want some spots, every so
Yeah.
often, it is such a PR fuck up to smash the close friend of the girl that you've been avoiding on TV for like it just feels like such a miscalculation that I don't think he thought about it. You know what I mean? Like
I don't. Well,
it just seems like such a colossal obvious fuck up that it's like wild to me that he would do that as someone who is so like image conscious. Like that's why I think he and Amanda actually like each other. Do I think they want to be together long term? No, absolutely not. They're stuck. They're stuck because of
yeah.
circumstances. But like, it just seems like such an obvious mistake that it doesn't seem worth it. That like, I can't believe this would be calculated on his part. Because it'd be one thing if he was like, I'm gonna be Amanda's rock during this divorce, but the fucking part is the part that seems just like, unless West just can't not fuck people.
I think so that's what I was gonna say. I think that he can't not fuck people, and I think also when he was like, oh, like we were like hanging out, and like I was like, am I like missing something, or like do you feel a vibe here? I can totally see Amanda and him because Amanda's like, Wes was really there for me. He was really there for me. We were hanging out all the time because he was really there for me. Because also Amanda likes being around men. Like Amanda
Of
needed a
course.
man, right? Which is fine. I'm not gonna shame a woman for wanting to be around a man who treats her
Or not even
nicely.
just wanting to be around a man. You've been basically, because Amanda's what, 34? She's been with
Yeah.
Kyle since she was 24. A
Yeah.
woman with big tits in New York City who's been married essentially since she was like 24, like, yeah, you want to be desired. Like, a thing that, okay, this is a tangent, it's a separate thing, but I hate that your audience is going to call me such a pick me, but it's like, whatever. I hate that there's this online kind of culture of like embarrassing straight women for desiring male attention. You know what I
Male
mean? Where it's
gaze.
like
Yeah.
it's so embarrassing to have a boyfriend and fuck men or whatever. I'm straight. I want people with dicks to like want to use them on me sometimes. Like I do want that. And so like I think that there's an overuse of the word pick me. I do think that Amanda has demonstrated pick me shit. Absolutely.
Mhm.
But I think there is this weird thing that people are like mad at you for wanting niggas to like you. Like, excuse me for N words, but for wanting men to like you. Like, I
Yeah.
want men to like me too. I have nice tits also. I just don't be on the internet with it. But like it's like yeah, like it like every woman on this show is a pygmy.
Mhm.
Has been the entire time. And I just find, I don't want to say that like, because I don't want it to come off like I'm defending Amanda. I just think that the rage is a little irrational. Because
Mhm.
my friend Ira, like he said one time, he was like, everybody in this house has passed call around like a blunt. Like I think the reaction is outside. And I kind of agree. Like how many times has Carl made out with Paige? Didn't Carl kiss Ciara? Carl has gone back and forth between Danielle. Like I don't.
Mhm.
I guess I'm just not understanding why this time is so outside of like the closeness that Ciara and Amanda were feeling at present. I guess I don't understand why the rage is as big as it is.
I think that
I
it's
don't know.
big because West, I think, makes you think that you're the center of his world. And I think that each and every single person on this cast has been made to feel very special by West, right? Like even Mia at the end of the season was like, I was coming into the show like thinking that I was going to really hate West, but unfortunately he is very charming. Like even on the reunion,
Okay.
Lindsay was like, you need to stop making me laugh. Like I think that West is really good at making people feel like he really loves and adores them. And I think that the fact that he then goes and does these like really egregious things like
Right.
fucking Amanda or like even this thing, right? This whole thing that happened after the show stopped filming and he and Sierra hung out. And I'm glad you pointed out, you were texting me about it. Like he met Sierra and said, hey, I'm like not interested in, I'm like looking for casual stuff. I know that we're not going to have sex because for you, sex is really important and you don't want to do that until we're like officially together or whatever. But then he still does these like sleepovers with her.
But
And he
that's
ends
when you have to grow up and
I
not go
agree.
to his house. You have to
No.
not go to his house.
And so
Here's
this is
the thing for
where
me, and this is why I don't give her grace. I'm so sorry. I just
yeah.
don't. This man told the paper of record that I was not his person. He told
You
the most important newspaper in America that he don't fuck with me. The gray lady. He told the gray lady that he don't fuck with me. There's no coming back from that. There's no coming like and listen, I'm not acting like I have shit figured out. No, I don't. I'm
no.
just saying my ego, I'm a low self-esteem, high ego bitch. That's just being African. That's what we do, you know?
Yes.
So for me, embarrassment is my greatest fear. Embarrassment
Mhm.
is my greatest fear. This man humiliated me in the newspaper. Then we had conversation about it on the reunion and he didn't even backpedal. And then
Mhm.
you rightly were like, well, fuck this guy. I'm not gonna talk to him. Fuck him this summer, fuck him next summer, fuck him every summer after that. And then this man sat next to you with a girl on his lap and kissed her and you were sitting right there and then you went upstairs and sobbed with your friends about how this motherfucker don't see you. And then you, not him, you begged for friendship. And then you never met friendship, actually. What you meant was to get back together the entire time. It's just like, this to me is self-inflicted wounds. The nigga's garbage, excuse me for N-words, sorry. He's garbage. I agree with you. He's manipulative. He's all these things. But again, you can't just go into the world wide open. Here's the thing. If someone robs you, it's fucked up that they robbed you. But at what point do you lock your door?
Yeah.
You are not supposed to leave your house unlocked. I'm
Mhm.
sorry, it's just true. There are
Mhm.
thieves and they should go to jail. And also, you dummy, why was your door unlocked?
Yeah.
And it's like not only was your door unlocked, but this same person robbed you before.
Yeah.
You said he can't come to my building because I think he's gonna rob me if he comes to my house. And then you let him in your house and you went to the bathroom and he stole your iPod and left. Does that sound too specific? It happened to me in college. Your boy fucked me and stole my iPod.
And then gave it to your friend.
What'd you say?
And
then
then
gave
he
it
stole
to
her
my
iPad and
friend.
gave it to your friend.
Exactly. I understand that it is important for us to, and you and I have had so many conversations offline about, you know, the racial dynamic and everything and everything and everything. But and I know that it is like important for us to be like careful about how we talk about Black women, particularly dark skinned one, particularly African American ones, because even I, as an immigrant, experienced a privilege that, you know, African American descendants of slavery do not experience. But in all that is true. And then also, when people are thieves, you have to lock your door. You know what I mean? And so then it just even looks crazier to me because she's like trying to get off these like lines, like these reads and shit. I'm like, you look stupid because if this nigga wanted you, you would still be with him. That's what's crazy to me. Like, that's why all of this looks stupid. She's like, your man's not defending you, huh? He's the one who didn't want to sleep with you. You were at his house wanting dick. That's what happened. And he didn't drop it off on you because he knew you would get too attached. And so it just looks crazy to me to now see her shitting on him, and I know she told Andy that she's more mad at Amanda, but I don't believe that. I honestly, to me, the vitriol feels like a girl who got rejected. She's mad at both of them, but she's more mad at the rejection. That's just how it looks to me, because we haven't seen this yet. We saw this in the preview, but he's with you to spite me. Girl, get a grip. That's not true. That's not true. It's like it's and like, I would even be less harsh if we didn't have an Austin to show us what happened the first time. You know, like I have ADHD. I don't know Ciara. I don't want to diagnose her or whatever. But I have limerence. Limerence is a thing where you get fixated on objects of your affection, even if the affection is not entirely reciprocated. It's often like little things, like to me she sounded so stupid and childish, and I know your audience is gonna be so mad at me for calling her stupid. I don't mean her stupid like she's a stupid person. I just mean like she sounds delusional and crazy to me when she was like, when West is sitting here on the show, he's like, I took you to dinner and I told you that how you handle casual things is not how I handle casual things, so we can't go forward. And then you know how childish and stupid she sounds when she's like, well, you told Ben you had a crush on me. Grow up! You're the hottest person in America. Yes, he's gonna say he wanna fuck you. That's correct. A man said he had a crush on you. Yeah, a man said he wanted to fuck you. Correct. Lock your door, Ciara. Lock your door. I mean, maybe I feel so strongly because I see my 20-something-year-old self in this or whatever, but it's just like, Ciara, you are 30. The boy is younger than you. Like, this is just all, you know, it just looks so silly. And so then and then it's weird because I know Kyle is older than everyone on the cast, but by contrast, you see Kyle, he's like very calm, he's not freaking out, he's like, you know what I'm saying? And so like, here Ciara is, hasn't slept with this man in 3 years, and she's like, you know, she's doing all this, and Kyle's just like, you look pretty to Amanda.
Here's the thing. You know, guys, everybody is entitled to their own opinions. Don't get mad at Rae either for having these. I think that what you said is really important, which is that there are parts of Ciara that I think take us all back to being young and not knowing how beautiful we are and not knowing how valuable we are, and then pouring ourselves into situations and friendships and scenarios that do not value us as much as we value it. Ciara has always, and this is conversations that I've had with a lot of people, and it's difficult to talk about it online, which is why I don't. Which is why I do a long form podcast so that you guys can understand the nuance.
Because they will find your one thread and call you a sellout and coon forever when there's a
exactly
conversation to be had. Yeah.
Well, you know, they love to call ice on me, so it's fine. see you guys at Delaney Hall in Newark, I guess.
Oh no!
But like, here's
what's
the thing.
What's that jail they just shut down? They tried to build this ice Center, right? In Jersey?
Delaney Hall.
Delaney Hall. Okay,
Yeah, that's the one. So here's the thing. Like, I think that Sierra is one of the most astonishing things one of the funniest things that happened when this whole thing broke out is multiple older like housewives and former Bravo people or like pop culture people being like, did Wes, like Cynthia Bailey, I think said it. She was like, did Wes look different before? Because why are these women going after this guy, right? And I think like when we all heard about it, one of the things we all thought was, I swear to God, if Sierra let this man fuck her in February at the Super Bowl, that is going to piss us off. Because even when she was hanging out with West, even when she was posting pictures from the Super Bowl, I think for a lot of us, the first things, especially like a lot of us who like Sierra and saw all the shit that happened with Austin, we all saw that and went, fuck, like, please don't, right? And there are people who love West who now hate him, but love West and we're like, oh my God.
I
Yeah,
love
like,
that. I love that convenient switch up. Y'all were all shipping her until 5 minutes ago with this motherfucker. So you're all responsible for gassing this girl up too. Yeah.
Exactly. You were shipping her with him. And so you are also adding to all that, right? But for a lot of us, and I think Mia is amazing for this, and I'm so glad she's part of the show now.
Because she was clocking that shit. She was like, girl, what?
Mia has immediately been there. I feel like Mia has been there as sort of like a shield for Sierra to be like, to kind of pull her back from delusion at times.
Right.
I think that there has been a lot of times when Mia, even on the show, when Sierra told Mia that she had made out with West, Mia was like, girl, I was there when this ended the last time.
Right.
I know what's going to happen. Like, you need to be careful. This is not good. All this stuff. Right. And I think that it's really important to have a friend who is going to be like, these people are not your friends. Even Lindsay, like we were talking about like Lindsay being hyped up and Jesse being hyped up and Carl being hyped up.
They're
about
taking advantage of the situation, to be honest.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. So with Sierra, the thing that I still worry about with her is that I fear that she is still pouring herself into areas of the world or parts of her life that I don't think value her as much as she could be valued elsewhere. I think that she values being in these spaces more than they actually value her as a person. And like, even with like Lindsay, like I watched the episode live, and every commercial break had an ad with Lindsay Hubbard.
It's hair, it's T-Mobile, it's everything.
I was like, wait, did West fuck Lindsay too? Because why is she getting all this ad time, right?
Yeah,
and it's like, and even like Lindsay getting so activated. I love it. Excellent TV, so funny, amazing, like amazing to watch. And she's correct, right? For the most part, she is correct. And I love watching Lindsay yell
They're
at
all doing too much. They're all still doing too much.
But I think the reason why Lindsay is being so ultra supportive of Sierra is because, do you remember a couple seasons ago when Sierra threw that wine glass at Danielle because Sierra and Lindsay were feuding over Austin?
Of course. That's when I decided fully I don't like Sierra.
So when that whole thing happened, who was really the driving force there? It was really Lindsay versus like Paige and Amanda, right?
Yes, they were having a proxy war.
They were having a proxy war. And then even after that, when Lindsay was with Carl and like after the engagement and everything, that was that reunion where Amanda was like, oh, like she controls Carl's brain or whatever it is that she said. But Lindsay was still feuding with Amanda. And who was on Amanda's side? It was Paige and Sierra, right?
Yeah, of course.
So I think that what's been really like, I think what's like a rush for Lindsay is to be like, Sierra, that girl that you were like pairing up with to fight against me, she's actually a bitch. And I'm going to prove to you that I'm a better person by fucking her up, right? And like, I think that's why Lindsay is going so hard. It's because it's not really that she gives a shit who West is fucking. I don't think that she even really cares about Sierra's feelings, to be completely honest.
But I actually don't think anyone cares about Sierra's feelings except for Kyle. I just, and to be honest, I don't even, and I'm not mad at him for this, but I don't even think that Sierra's on the top of Kyle's mind either. I think he cares. I think maybe Carl cares, but I just feel like yes, this feels like because I don't want to like be dismissive of Sierra in saying this, but I feel like everybody is focused on West and like no one gives a fuck about Sierra. Like every time someone talks about Ciara's feelings, it's an afterthought. And to some degree, I agree that that's fair because she wasn't with West. Like, get over it. But also, like, even remember, like at the opening of the reunion, Kyle goes into Lindsay's confessional, and everyone is calling Lindsay's phone, and Kyle, he's like, "Oh, Mia, I'm sorry, I didn't answer your text." And Mia's like, "Oh, don't worry, like, there's a lot going on." So everyone is group chatting or group texting Kyle and Lindsay, and then at some point, I think Carl's like, "Oh, did anyone talk to Ciara?" This is like a minute into the thing that we just saw, and then Mia's like, "Yeah, I think I'm in LA right now, but I think I'm gonna fly to New York to check on her." Even in the breaking of the news, nobody was talking to or about Ciara until Carl says it, like, as in after the fact thing. And so we've talked a lot about this. You know, I've gone to predominantly white schools. I've had like friendships with white women. After 2016, I had a traumatic thing for me emotionally with a white man. I just don't trust white people to be careful about me. And again, that's why I'm just like, why is Ciara's nose wide open? She's just going in the streets smelling everything, nostrils like on flare, everything in. Like, why are you so naive? And I know that people are gonna be like, it's not fair that like we expect more for Black people, but the world is the world. The world is the world, and like, if like you can't move recklessly the way that these people move, and then think that like that you're gonna be protected. And maybe it's harsh, but it's just like, again, you just have to lock your door when people are thieves. Like, if you keep thieves around you, you have to lock your door. And it just seems crazy to me. And maybe I should be softer, because a person that I dealt with when I was like 23 came back into my life in 2024, and I had not talked to him for 10 years. My gut and my instincts and everything was like, fuck this guy, he's a terrorist, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. And you know, you think, well, I'm 36 now, he's not gonna be the same he was when he was 28. Oh no, he was worse. He was worse. Are you kidding me? And my vagina's looking at me like, you dumb bitch, you learned this lesson 15 years ago. I like had a crush on him, dealt with him when I was like high school, then right after college, then didn't talk to him for 10 years, ran into him at a party and I was just like, I'm the stupid bitch. You know what I mean? I'm the stupid bitch. This person gave me no evidence they changed. All I thought was time handled it. No, time does not handle men. Men don't have to grow up. There's always, because of the patriarchy, the way that dating in heterosexually is set up, where a man can always find a younger, stupider girl. A younger, they don't have to change unless they want to. And so, unfortunately, we have to protect ourselves. There is nothing. This is why I'm so frustrated. What did West do at all to show her that he was a different man this year? Nothing. He did not. In fact, he showed her he was a terrible man because he kissed a bitch while she was sitting right there, and she went upstairs and was crying about it. And I don't know how we get from that 3 weeks ago to he's the person I love the most in the house after like one coffee date and like a conversation on a boat. Like, this was crazy. Like, I feel insane, and I know that like growing up in predominantly white spaces, uh, uh, feeling undesirable as a Black woman in those spaces is like really painful. And I know like from my own experience, there was a lot of like men being very intimate with me emotionally, but for whatever reason, they never wanted to be with me. It was like, oh, their friends wouldn't understand, or they couldn't bring me home to mom for some reason, or blah, blah. And you sort of feel like rejected, and you like want to prove your value to these people in the space, but it's like, nah, man, like you've got to just like learn that it's not for you. You don't, you know what I mean? Like, and it sucks because who wants to feel like they're walking around wearing a, you know, a protection cloak or whatever? You got to be on some like Harry Potter invisibility cloak shit because you're just trying to function normally in a house. But the fact is that you're Black and things are different for you, and that is just true. And it sucks, and I'm sorry it sucks, but it is just true. Austin was never going to treat you as well. He doesn't treat any women well, by
No.
the way. But he
Yeah.
was never going to treat you how he treats Lindsay. That is just true. That is just true about Austin. And West, I don't know that I think that West is treating Amanda differently because she's white, but it's a valid question, right?
Yeah.
Like it's a question worth asking. But it's like you've gotta be the one who's discerning. When you like, if I don't want to equate race to a handicap, but if you are in a wheelchair, you've got to be the one who knows that you can't use your wheelchair on some stairs. Like that is just true about life. Like
Mhm.
people aren't accommodating to you. Like you it sucks that not every train station has an elevator, but
Yeah.
also you've got to find the train stations with the elevator, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
so like when you are a Black woman who is as attractive as you are and are on television, and these men are going to use you for clout, we saw it already, you've got to be discerning. It's on you now. You've got to use discernment. And like, I'm glad she has Mia now, but I'm even worried about KJ. Like I'm worried. I
Yeah.
just feel like again, just nose wide open. Like these people are just so nose wide open, and it's just like you are sniffing every fucking dirty smell. Like you're just taking it in. And it's like you need to protect yourself. Like, and I hate that that's true. And I know this got so serious because we were having fun, but like it's just like I I don't know. I don't want to be like mad at her for moving reckless, but this West shouldn't have happened to her a second time. You know what I'm
I
saying?
know. I
He
know.
shouldn't have happened to her a second time. And then and this is the only grace I'll give West. This is the only grace I'll give him. He dated this girl. He didn't want her. He broke up with her off camera. His stupid
Mhm.
ass went on the record like a crazy person, and then she was embarrassed, whatever. And so she didn't talk to him for the following summer. I am appreciative of a boundary that she set for herself, but I don't think
Yeah.
she was setting a boundary. I think she was punishing him, which are two different things,
Yeah.
right? And so I understand why it's annoying that you've got to come to work and this girl's mad at you because you didn't want her, and now it's tense all the time at work. That's the only grace I give him. And so I understand why he would have wanted to. He shouldn't have done what he did with Jesse, which is to cock block that wherever he shouldn't
Yeah.
have. But I do think it sucks that because he didn't want to be with her, he had to be uncomfortable at his reality TV show job. I do think that that's not fair. I think it's one thing for her to keep her distance. It's another thing to be punishing him, and I do think she was punishing him. I do believe that she was.
I can see that. I think also more men should be made uncomfortable at work.
That's fair.
I think that men should be made more
Yeah.
uncomfortable in general. I think that it's okay. And I think that if his way of finding comfort in situations is very weird because it's not it is to make a person feel like they are the center of his world. Like if he's uncomfortable, right? Like I don't think that Wes knows how to like just be like a normal friend with somebody. I think that when he's friends with somebody, I think that he is just like, "Oh, you're like a goddess and I love you and I think you're like the greatest thing in the world." And I
But
think
I
that
also think he knows that that's what she wanted too, and that again is a manipulative thing. But
yeah.
let's be real here, though.
Yeah.
So we've all done this. I don't know if
Yeah.
you've done this, but I definitely have. Where you tell a guy who doesn't want to be with you that you just want to be friends, but you're holding out hope that he does want to be more than friends, and that's
Yes. Yes.
absolutely what she did. She didn't want to be best friends with him
No.
because none of this would be happening if she just wanted to be best friends with him. There was even remember Jesse. Who knew Jesse was emotionally intelligent? He
Yeah.
was the one who said, "Did you guys have the conversation? Because
Yes.
you need to know what's happening." And
Yep.
she even admitted out loud she didn't want to have the conversation because she didn't want to have to define what the relationship was. So everybody was being manipulative or not forthright. you know?
Yeah. And because I think everybody knew that I think everybody had the fear of the thing happening that they don't want to happen. I think Sierra
Right.
knew that the thing that was going to happen was that she was going to fall head over heels over this guy again and he was going to reject her. Wes knew that he was playing a little too hard and fast with Sierra and then she was going to catch feelings and then the audience would once again hate him because I think
Yeah.
Wes' biggest concern is the audience, right? Like the way he
Absolutely.
wants people to like him, the way he behaves, like even, Kyle being like, you do this thing, like even Lindsay was like, you're doing this thing where you're drawing us in and you're so good at it. Like Lindsay is a PR person.
For
She's
sure.
aware of when people are doing things to make themselves more likable and more acceptable to
Absolutely.
whatever audience.
She's
And
doing
so
it herself. Shit.
yeah, so I think that in this situation, I think everybody was worried about the thing happening that they were hoping wouldn't happen. I'm talking about with Sierra and Wes.
Yeah.
With the Amanda situation, I genuinely think that Wes just does like to fuck, and he fucked Amanda, and he was like, "Damn it, now I need to be her boyfriend."
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. This episode went a little bit longer, so I had to split it into 2 parts. Part 2 is already on your feed. You can go ahead and check it out now. Thanks for listening. Bye.